So brace yourselves, seniors, because 2026 is shaping up to be one of the most dramatic years in Social Security history. We're talking higher taxes, delayed benefits, massive cost of living changes, and a quiet proposal that could slash your monthly payments without any warning. And here's the kicker: one of these changes could completely eliminate benefits for nearly 6 million Americans, a fact very few are talking about. So, in this video, I'll walk you through the 8 biggest Social Security changes that you can expect in 2026, including the one change that, if passed, could permanently alter retirement as we know it. But as always, before we dive in, let me tell you a quick story. So, a retired bus driver named Lillian reached out to me last week. She thought she'd planned everything down to the penny, but now one tiny Social Security rule is threatening to take away nearly $400 a month from her checks, and she had no idea it even existed. So, stick around to the very end, and I'll reveal exactly what happened to Lillian and how you can avoid the same disaster. So, just before we take a deep dive, it's imperative you hit that like button and subscribe so that you get notified the minute we produce another game-changing video that affects your finances. I promise you'll appreciate it. So buckle up and let's plunge straight in. Starting with number 1, the cost of living increases will likely shrink. Now, every January, millions of Americans breathe a small sigh of relief when the new cost of living adjustment kicks in. But in 2026, well, that raise may barely cover your coffee habit. Analysts at the Senior Citizens League project that 2026 COLA could drop below 2%. Now, that's a sharp contrast to the 5.9%, the 8.7%, and the 3.2% increases seen from 2022 to 2024. Now, why? Well, because inflation is cooling, and the COLA is tied directly to CPIW data from Q3 of the previous year. Less inflation means smaller adjustments, and even though seniors are still feeling the pinch of skyrocketing housing, healthcare, and food costs. On to number 2. Payroll taxes are likely to rise. Now, currently, only wages up to $168,600 are subject to the Social Security payroll tax. But in 2026, well, that cap could jump significantly, possibly even past $175,000. Now, that means higher income earners will contribute more into the system without necessarily seeing proportional increases in benefits. Now, there's also growing bipartisan support to remove the cap entirely, meaning even millionaires and billionaires would pay payroll taxes on their full earnings for the first time in American history. Now, if this happens, it could very well extend the trust fund's solvency, but it also changes the Social Security formula, and sadly, not everyone will benefit equally. So, on to number 3. The full retirement age could shift again. So, right now, the full retirement age is 67 for most Americans born in 1960 or later. But there's talk in Congress of pushing that to 68 or even 69, citing increased life expectancy and the long-term insolvency of the Social Security Trust Fund. Now, if passed, this change will mean delayed full benefits, and that would force millions to either work longer or to accept a permanent reduction for early filing. Now, this could disproportionately affect workers in physically demanding jobs who simply just can't push retirement by a further 2 or 3 years. So, in the meantime, if you're finding this video helpful so far, welcome to the Financial Freedom Network, the place where we expose the changes that impact your money, your retirement, and your credit. So tap that like button, leave a quick comment with your biggest Social Security concern, and I'll make sure that if you subscribe, you never miss a single update. So now on to number 4. Means testing may be on the table. Now, this is the sleeper issue that almost no one is paying attention to, but it could devastate middle income retirees. Now, lawmakers are discussing a proposal to reduce benefits for higher earners, even if they paid into the system for decades, and it's called means testing. And it basically says if you have too much income or assets, well, your social security checks will be a lot smaller, or they could even disappear entirely. Now, sounds unfair? Well, it's gaining traction as a way to preserve the program. And yes, even upper middle class savers could be affected. So, on to number 5. Now, this is a big push for the WEP GPO repeal. Now, two little known policies, the windfall elimination provision, WEP, and the government pension offset, GPO, unfairly reduce Social Security benefits for retirees who worked in both public and private sectors. So millions of teachers, firefighters, and local government employees lose hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars every month due to these outdated rules. Now, a growing coalition in Congress is pushing for a full repeal by 2026, and the Social Security Fairness Act now has bipartisan support. Saying that, on to number 6, and it's not good news, I'm afraid. Medicare premium deductions may increase. Now, many seniors don't realize this, but your Medicare Part B premium is automatically deducted from your Social Security check. And those premiums, well, they're expected to rise in 2026, eating into your take-home amount. Even a small jump from $174 to $185 a month, and that's $11, can reduce your actual benefit, especially if COLA adjustments remain low. Worse yet, if your income goes above a certain threshold, you could be hit with income-related monthly adjustment amounts, raising your premiums even higher. On to number 7. Good news, direct deposit timelines will be streamlined. So here is a rare bit of good news for you. The SSA is working to modernize their payment systems, and by 2026, all direct deposits are expected to be processed faster with clearer timelines. So no more guessing which Wednesday your check will actually arrive. Now, this could really help lower income recipients who live, sadly, paycheck to paycheck. And finally, on to number 8. And this is a doozy: the potential elimination of Social Security for all non-citizens. Now, this is a change we hinted at right at the beginning, and it's sparking fierce political debate. Several lawmakers are pushing to limit or revoke Social Security eligibility for certain groups of non-citizens, even legal permanent residents who haven't met the full 40-quarter contribution requirement. Now, if this becomes law, nearly 6 million beneficiaries could lose access overnight. Now, critics say it's discriminatory, but supporters argue it's necessary to preserve the benefits for US taxpayers. But either way, it's a bombshell issue you need to watch out for in 2026. So the big question is, what happened to Lillian, the retired bus driver that I mentioned at the beginning? Well, she worked a public job for 20 years and qualified for a modest pension. But because of the windfall elimination provision, her monthly Social Security check was reduced by nearly 50%. No one warned her, no one prepared her. And now she's struggling to keep up with rent. So whatever you do, don't be like Lillian. These 8 changes are coming fast, and the earlier you understand them, well, the better you can prepare. So again, if you found this breakdown valuable, share it with someone who really relies on Social Security. Drop your questions below. I read every comment, and make sure to hit that subscribe button. So until then, my fellow seniors, stay sharp, stay informed, and stay free. Have a great day.